Well, hello, everybody. Joanne Brooks, just making sure everything's working. Welcome to Navigate Biz, one of the unusual tutorials we're doing today, masterclass on the 4 things or answers you need to know now how to grow your business. So I'm going to get started because we are 1 past 1. It is being recorded, so for those of you who can't make it live, you will receive a recording. So let me just go share the screen and we'll get ourselves organized here. All righty, getting started. Okay, just wait for it to load. Computers, they go a bit slow when you want to get things done, right? Just like this fellow, sweeping up all the questions. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is answering the questions, giving you the solutions that you need to find and resolve the biggest challenges facing business owners now, because there's a global economy has changed, right? It has changed significantly over the last 2 years. And now your mindset needs to change as well. And so that's the first insight as to what we're going to be talking about today. So let's jump in. Rightio. So the question is, I always start one of these masterclasses with a question. If the fuel of your business is clarity, or riddle if you like, then businesses are like a compass. They provide us with our most valuable opportunity, our destination. So that's just a thought-provoking quote comment. Let's jump into this thing. Who am I? For those of you who don't know who I am, Joanne Brooks, answer to either. Owned over 14 businesses in the last 20 years. In fact, launched a new business this month, June 2022. Yes, I've built a business from 30 million to 18 months. I'm an author, a co-author. I work with industry partners. I am a speaker and motivator, and I love talking to business owners and helping you to be the best that you can be in your business. So that's enough about me. Let's jump in. So who's going to benefit from this tutorial masterclass? So business owners, prospective business owners who feel that their business is going nowhere, but know they need to grow. They know they need to recruit to grow, but are nervous about it. Oh, recruiting people, that's a bit of a scary. It's a massive leap of faith, right? We get that. And when you do recruit, you're nervous that they might leave. You're looking to find ways to manage the definite supply chain issues at the moment for those who are in a physical product, and you need to know how to fund your growth. So they're the things that we're going to be talking about today. We feel through our research that these are the things that you need to know. So let's dive into those. Because what we want is transformation in your business, and it works like this. When you know how to deal with these 4 challenges, you're going to feel an element of release that you've been placing, this heavy weight on your shoulders. And when you filter distractions, the people who you do surround yourself with will support you, guide you, and challenge you. And when you do this, something significant happens. You have the right mindset, you create audacious goals, and you know your business network will support you. You can take back control of what is important, and naturally your business grows. So that's a bit of what we see as the transformation that's coming by people who actually implement what we suggest here. So, there are many people who attend these types of programs, and I know because you've paid for this program, you're going to be paying attention, I suspect. But we want to see transformation. So we want to see that you're implementing. So let's keep going of what that transformation, why it works, because we know what you've been doing today hasn't worked. Business starts with you. It always starts with you. Navigate starts with me. Navigate starts with you. Sorry, your business starts with you. You need to get it right so that your business can be right. If you're not in the right space, how can your business be in the right space? We know other solutions don't work. There are many providers of coaching and support and programs, but often they're there to fix the pain, not the source of the pain. And we know that that's a really important piece. And this is how it fits into your big picture. We all start our businesses. We have this utopic view of what the business is going to be like and how it's going to work. Because I'd like to think that you want to create a legacy. You want to build a lifestyle for yourself and your family and your community. Just making sure there's nobody here that shouldn't shouldn't, right? And potentially you want to give back, but none of this will happen unless you take control. So these tips that we're going to share with you today is about taking control. So let's dive into those. The first one, we know that recruitment is a critical piece to growing your business, and you need absolute clarity about this. So what you need to do first, so what I don't want you to do is go and whip up a Seek ad and go, this is the person I want, because lots of things happen as a result of that. You might be looking for the wrong role, the wrong person. You're not ready to do the interviews. You're not ready to talk about your business and where it's going to go. So what I want you to do first, before you even think about going to Seek or any of those recruitment platforms or providers, you need to revisit, why did you start your business? What's your values? What's your purpose? And what's the vision for the business? Where is it going? What is your brand? What do you and your business stand for? And of course, you need to market that. So why do we say that you need to do that? Because one of the biggest mistakes you can make, and this is potentially why there's some hesitancy in business owners moving forward with recruitment, is you don't want to stuff it up. You want to make sure that the people you have coming on board to join your business, to help you grow and for you to help them grow, your values need to be aligned. They need to understand why you exist. They need to understand where you're going to take the business. Look, I often, the number of conversations I have with business owners and say, so what's the vision? What does success look like for you when you get there? Will you know when you get there? And often they've said to me, one person said, well, to sell 20 widgets by December this year. And, I was speaking to this person a few weeks ago. I went, oh, wow, like December's going to go like that. So what happens after that? And what does that mean? 20 widgets. Is that going to give you an enormous profit? Are they very high priced products? And I knew they weren't. So what I want you to think about is to go back and revisit. Why did you start the business? Let me share with you, to give you context, about our vision and where we're going with it. And Navigate is going through a new revolution, I guess you could say, a new iteration. So that there's new products coming on board, some very high level products. But the reason I and myself and Nick Barnstall started this business, Navigate Biz, is that we wanted to absolutely put a dent in the failure rate of small business. We wanted to stop them. We wanted them to stop thinking small goals, small aspirations. Because when you stay under the $2 million turnover mark, when you stay under 5 staff, you're at great risk of business failure. The statistics tell us, the data tells us, we're not being doomsdayers by any stretch of the means. These statistics have been in place, have consistently shown this for years. It's not something that's come as a result of COVID. Because you know what? There's always going to be something that disturbs you in your business, always. It's a fire, it's a flood, particularly if you live in Australia, right? Natural disasters, there's GFCs, there's stock failures, there's challenges with your supply chain, challenges with your customers. Too many business owners are one issue with their staff, their supplier, their customer, their stakeholders, away from business failure. And that is why we do what we do at Navigate Biz. We know absolutely, and it's in big words all around. I'm always talking about it, thinking about it, and it absolutely connects to my values. We have a no BS approach. We want to have fun. We know we want to influence and inspire people. Our purpose is to help business owners thrive. And that's our, in our vision, I want to have offices around the world. I want to have shared spaces around the world. I want to have departments in Navigate that help you as business owners to get what you need from us. Marketing department, finance department, all these areas, the education department, the mentoring department, all driven from the founders of Navigate Biz. So I want you to think about this. When I asked somebody the other day, what was their goal for their business? And they said, as I said, the 20 widgets. I said, well, that's going to go like that. And I said, let me share you my goal. It was 1,000 widgets. Just I want to disclose, because of, protecting the privacy of other parties. 1,000 widgets, and that was going to take me 5 years. And I was okay with that. So when you think about your goals, where you're going with your business. Don't get hung up on how you're going to do it. That will come. The how will come as you create those goals, the vision and the purpose, and your values all sit with it. So this is, we're going back to recruitment here, because we want you to be absolutely crystal on this one. And I'm going to show you in a few slides why. So the next step to your recruitment, you've worked, well, this is where I'm going. This is my purpose. This is my vision. This is, this is the reason we exist. Have that clear in your head. Now you need to look at, yes, who do you need? Why are they important to your business? And what will they do daily? Often I've spoken to business owners and they've said to me, oh, well, I need an admin person. Well, what's the biggest pain point in your business? Well, sales. Right. Do you think maybe you need a salesperson, not an admin person? Well, because your admin's going to not generate income, right? So I want you to really think about it. So there's going to be a bunch of bonuses here at the end of this, this masterclass. So hang in here, because I'm going to share some tools and some bonuses that I'm going to send to you so you can implement some of these concepts that we're talking about. Because when you know what you need and who you need to do it, why you need to do it, and what they need to do daily, you can connect them with you and your business and bring it all together. Now, when I say who, I'm not saying you need Sally Jones who lives at this address. When I say who, it is, what is their characteristics? What's their skill set? What's their attributes? What's their values? Why do they exist in this world? Yes, you need to get to that level. Who you need in your business, if it is an admin person, and maybe it's bookkeeping, for example. So when you start interviewing them and you find out that, their attention to detail is, they are challenged by that, they don't like numbers, but they're just desperate for a job, so they're putting their hand up. Don't employ them because they tick a couple of boxes, but do employ them if you can see their values align to your values and your business values. You can see that they're excited for the opportunity and the career opportunity you're going to offer them. Don't not employ them because they don't have the skills. Employ them potentially because they've got the right attitude. You can cover the skills. And the amazing thing about here in Australia, for those of you who are listening to this in Australia, the amount of government support to business owners to train their staff is incredible. There is no excuse for you to not upskill your staff, taking advantage of all the funding that's out there. Traineeships, apprenticeships, C3G, NEIS programs, BAC funding. This is a space that I've played around in for the last 20 years. So here's a shout out to you. If you need to know more about that, I'm happy to have a conversation with you and walk you through what the opportunities are. It's incredible the amount of financial support business owners can apply for, it's the right word, to support their staff in building their skills. So don't get hung up, unless it's a regulatory and licensing requirement, don't get hung up on what qualifications they hold. Hang your hat on their attitude, their approach to why they want the job, and their values, and why, why do they exist? What's their aspirations? What do they want to get out of their career and their life? Ask those questions, so important. So I want you to think of this recruitment as you are making an offer to someone. You are not just offering a job, and you are not just not looking for an employee. What you are offering them is a seat on a rocket, which is your business, to a destination, which are your goals, with a defined mission, because you've got a plan. It's going to be fun, exhilarating, challenging, surprising, educating, and rewarding in so many ways. And you might say, man, Joanne, I just want a barista in my coffee shop. Sure. Or I just, somebody's just going to be collecting, they're a garbologists. They're going to be doing admin. They're not doing this amazing, exciting role. Well, why the heck not? I remember when I was talking to, I had a large team of 100 staff. I made a point of going up to our receptionist. Now, she was feeling a little bit down at the time for whatever reasons. And we worked our way through that. And I said to her, you have one of the most important roles in this business. And she looked a little bit surprised and she said, what do you mean? I said, you are the first person someone sees when they walk into my office. And we had 2 stories. There were 50 people there. She was the first person that said, hello, how are you, Bob, as they walked in the door? Or hello, this is blah, blah, blah. Welcome to this business type thing on the phone. You are the first person to make an impression. And if anybody knows about the 3-second first impression rule, that person, receptionist, is the most important person in your business. So yes, you want them to be excited and challenged and be surprised about the opportunity. You know, do you have a plan? Have you documented, and I do a lot of this consulting work with businesses, have you documented if someone starts as a receptionist with you, and maybe that's all you need today, and you've done all the research and that's what you need. But what happens when success happens and you've got a team growing? Are you planning for that receptionist to stay as a receptionist? Maybe she gets promoted to another level and then to another level. And this is due to performance, education, KPIs being met, attitude, connection to the business, what they bring to the business. All these things build your business. So why not have a visual document that says, look, if you start at receptionist, this is what it's going to look like. And what we might look at is putting you into this education program. And then this is the next role, qualification, next role, qualification, training, support, mentoring. And you've got this lovely visual document for somebody who enters your business at any point, and they can see visually where your business is going. How many of you would share a 1-page business plan that you have on there that talks about, you know, the size of the business you're going to have, how many offices, how many staff, what's the turnover going to be like, how many customers, what's the average value of the product that you sell? Get them excited about this business they're about to enter, because guess what? They're going to spend more hours of their life in your business than they do at home. So why wouldn't you want them to be excited and exhilarated and thrilled that there is a career opportunity here for them? And yes, there will be people who will come and go in your business. And I was excited for often when my staff moved on, because maybe they got to the point as high as they possibly could. And now they were ready to launch, to hop on that rocket ship of the next business to take them to the next level, or maybe they're going to start their own business. So recruitment is not to be a scary thing, but if you can take your recruitees on a ride, get them on the rocket ship with you, get them excited. So they've got a seat on the rocket. They know the destination they're going to because you've got some big, hairy, audacious goals, and you've got a defined mission or plan that they're going to contribute to help you achieve. Who wouldn't be excited about that? So that is what's super important, a different perspective of looking at recruitment. So what I want you to do, cut the crap, get excited, attract excited people. And you know what? The piece that is so important here, believe in what you do and know you need great, committed people to further your capability, to help you grow your business, and get excited, right? Get them excited. So important. So how do you keep them? Well, you got to share the values, right? As I said before, you need to connect and stay connected. You need to engage your team. You know, when you delegate tasks to your staff, are you helping them? Are you sharing with them? Say there's a task you need to get done. Are you telling them what there's a term for it. It's called paint done. So what that means is explain to the staff member what the job looks like when it's done. It is your job as the business owner, not theirs, your job as a business owner to make sure that they know what done looks like, that they have they have the skills, that they know they have the authority to complete it, and they've got access to the resources they need. If you are missing any of those things and the task doesn't get done to your expectations, guess whose fault? You, absolutely you. This is a really important piece that you need to connect and stay connected to your team. Make sure you catch up with them. Make sure you check in with them. And evaluate your team. Know who's engaged, know who is disengaged, know who is just exploring. And are there any destructive people in your business? There are absolutely going to be people, and we've come across them many a time, that they're happy in their role. They don't want to go any further, but they're happy, they're contented. It fills floats their boat, if you will. It gets them engaged for the day. They're not super excited, but they get the job done well. They're respectful to the team members and they get job done. So don't, if they're happy with that, fantastic. But if there are people in your business that are itching to go further up into your business, be given opportunities, be given authority, jolly well give it to them. But be honest with yourself and your team. Create a plan to engage or remove the disengaged and destructive people. I know one of the, just as a share, one of the things I used to do in my large company, we used to put a percentage of our funds, our income, into a fun bucket. And it was a percentage that we were comfortable with. We were a large business. We were generating by that time 30 million. So there was a big sizable amount in there. So what we, through performance, KPIs, support, education, alignment to values, all these things were evaluated. Team members at the end of the year would be awarded some significant opportunities. A cruise to Alaska was one of them. Tickets to go and do, what was it, go-karting. We would do team days that we would go off and do these things. We would go and have dinner at a nice restaurant. We celebrated the wins. We had a ship's bell on the wall. When a win was won, we would ring the hell out of that bell. And that was personal or business. Didn't matter what it was. We actually had 3 bells, a little one for the little wins, a slightly larger one for the medium size, and a big sucker for the ship's bell on the wall. And I tell you what, everybody stopped, looked, tell us what your win was, share it. And that was just so important. Staff retention is pretty easy, particularly if you've hired them well, they're aligned to your values and why you exist, and you've got them engaged and coming on this rocket ship with you. Sharing your values is what will keep them here in place. Because one of the biggest reasons people leave a business, it's not money, it's not the job, it is the culture of the business. It is the person who runs the business who maybe they're disengaged. So what we don't want for you is you to be that person. So identify, acknowledge, and recognize the engaged, because actually this is your power base. This is your rocket fuel that you need to grow it. So communicating and sharing is so important. So continually share why you are here and what you do in the, what your purpose is in the business. So I know one of the things we used to do every year was that we would bring the team together. We would close the office and we'd bring everybody together and we would review our plan, our mission, our purpose, our values. Do the values still ring true with us all? Is there anything that we need to adjust? Share the goals, create the goals with the team. When you have them involved and you get their buy-in, they are the ones that are going to help you implement this. So you need to keep this happening, right? And as a business owner as well, not just your team for the day together, bring your senior management team together and do something separate with the rest of the team. And then another one was our advisory board, like myself, the directors, the accountant, the legal team, the IT, whoever is in your advisory board. You then go take a few days away after you've had all these meetings and you refine it. And then you deliver it back to them. But your team will know they've been involved and you will have absolute buy-in, and reward their great behavior, or reward their attitude, reward their approach to coming to work every day. They may not be the most efficient one, but they are the best person who your customers love, and they come back and ask for Sally every time. Recognize that, reward that. What if you gave a share of your business to your staff? What would that look like? Literally, give them shareholding in your business for performance. So, what if you said to the staff, well, we've created these goals, right? If we achieve these over the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be a percentage of shareholding that I will share with the team. Why wouldn't you do that? I've done it. Nick's done it. I know many business owners have done that. The buy-in, the tenure, the loyalty that creates, particularly if they're involved in the goal setting, you will find an extra layer of loyalty and tenure in your business with your staff. So that's all about people and recruitment. Now, we know absolutely there is a whole bunch of hurt going on regarding the supply chain and dealing with delays. You know, globalization is weakening, and challenges with international trade is making what used to be simple and reliable now much more difficult. It's so much harder. It's disrupting your business. And so what can you do? Now, I know I was talking to one of our Biz Boot campers the other day, a builder, who normally would source a lot of his construction material from overseas. Clearly, that's a challenge and the price is going through the roof. What he realized was by acquiring this material locally, yes, it was more expensive, but guess what? He got it on time and he was able to complete the project in time. And because he knew what the costing was, he could include that cost in his overall quote. And he has become known as the builder that actually gets the extensions done within the time frame, and he cannot keep up with the amount of work. So just consider what can be done locally. Can you be part of the supply chain that delivers to manufacture, to mining, to bigger organizations, even to hospitality and retail, where they're supplying stuff from overseas? Can you fill that gap for them? Yes, you're going to have to charge the local rate, but if you can deliver it quicker, more efficiently, there's a compelling reason for business owners to take on your services for that reason. So look for alternative international as an alternative. So are you getting it from China? So can you get it from Malaysia? Is there other international locations you can source it from? Are there product alternatives? Are there freight alternatives? I know one of the team members in Navigate was importing by air for her stock, and she decided that she would import by sea. Now, they've all gone up, of course. And yes, you're going to say, but sea takes so much longer. Correct. So what she did was she put in bigger orders. So when they came, it held her while she waited for the next order to come. So we're going to talk about in a little bit how to fund that, because I appreciate you're going to say, whoa, where am I going to keep it? How am I going to fund that? But, you know, the demand has shifted from cost focused to availability. But I would also suggest to you that it's also about quality and assurance. So what if you could, instead of having a supplier from overseas and being challenging to check the quality, and you may not know until it arrives and you go, yuck, send it back, or I'm going to have to sell it for cheap because it's just not what I expected. What if you had a supplier locally? Yes, it's a little bit dearer, but the quality is so much better. So your product and service is so much better for your customer. What if you could actually go to their site, wherever they produce whatever, you know, the product that you need, and you can actually quality assure what you're going to be receiving from them face to face, much easier. Is that not worth you paying a little bit extra for that particular raw material, for want of a better word? So just think about some different ways that you might be able to solve the supply chain. So, of course, inventory. So let's look at the appropriate levels of inventory that you should. This is just benchmarking. This is just a bit of a guide, because with so many delays to manufacturers worldwide, we no longer depend on the just in time. So like maybe you've survived on having inventory just land on your door just at the time that you need to get it out. Well, you can't do that anymore because it's so unknown, unstable, unreliable. So let's have a look at this. We need you to have a look at what is the market demand per month for your product. What's the lead time that it takes for that demand to become real? What's your safety margin? And it could be in months that you need to add to that. That is now the inventory level that you need to hold. So what's the market demand? So it's 100 widgets per month. Okay. You need 2 months to get it there. So that's 300 widgets. What's your safety margin? Let's add 200, 2 months. So it's another 2 months. So it's 500 widgets. You now need to order 500 to hold you consistently over time, to take into account the delay. Notwithstanding, if you found a local supplier, maybe that's resolved altogether. That's your new inventory target level. So let's have a look at how you might fund that, because you got to hold it somewhere and you got to fund it somewhere. So there's a whole bunch of options today. The amount of finance options available to business owners today is incredible. There's trade finance. Did you know if you're importing from another country, you can go to a bank and they can put a trade finance facility in place that through various consignment notes, all those sort of things, whole facility put in place that you don't pay for it until it lands here in Australia. That's one version of trade finance. You can get an overdraft. Everybody's heard of that. You get a working capital loan, a bunch of money that just dumps in. What about debtor finance? You know, are you a business that issues invoices to your customers waiting for it to be paid? And is your normal invoice time 30 days? Now, I know there's a lot of businesses today don't work on invoices anymore. It's through a shopping cart and it's right there. But I know accounting practices, you know, there's a lot of businesses out there that do issue invoices. So what if you thought about financing it and you go, well, it's expensive, Joanne. It's generally no more expensive than overdraft. So let me give you some context as to why I know this. I've been in finance. My initial part of my career was in finance for 25 years. And then I was a commercial and plant and equipment finance broker for a number of years after that. So I know this stuff inside out, not qualified, not licensed anymore, but I understand the concept intimately. So let's give you a quick idea of what how debtor finance works. If you've got an invoice that you've issued to a customer that's worth $100 and you've got to wait 30 days for them to pay, maybe they will, maybe they'll stretch you along and make you use you as a bank. $100, you're just waiting for that to come in. If you debtor finance that, the finance company will go, $100, they're a good bet. I'm going to give you, Joanne Brooks, $80 within 48 hours straight into your bank account. And we'll work with you to make sure that your customer pays. So yes, you're down 20%, but you've got 80% of it within 48 hours. So if you had 20 $100 invoices and you got your $800 in quickly, can you imagine what that enables you to do from a cash flow perspective, negotiating with your suppliers because you've got the cash now, you're not waiting a month for it. When Sally Jones, your customer, pays her invoice within the 30 days, you get the 20% less the finance company's fees. As I said, it's about the cost of an overdraft. And if you can think of that continually rolling over, what if your invoices are totaled $100,000 and you got 80 grand in within 48 hours? The leveraging that you can negotiate better rates for your supply chain because you've got the cash, not waiting. And then the extra 20% less fees comes in at some point in the next 30 days. And if you keep doing that, you are leveraging the value of your invoices, and the cash flow that you benefits you experience is insane. Can you go, because what if you're doing two things? What if you've got debtor finance and then you go to your manufacturer, the people that you buy your bits and bobs and materials and raw materials or whatever it is that you need your manufacturer for? Because you've now got the cash, you can get improved terms. They may give you 90 days to pay, but what if you said, well, I'm now in a position to pay you upon delivery, a cash on delivery, for want of a better word. So therefore, beg my pardon, can we organise a better rate, a better term? Can you get the material on consignment? Can you finance it through your manufacturer? Why wouldn't you ask? Why wouldn't you ask? I want to jump into everybody's talking about the cost of living. Everybody's talking about it, right? So consumer price index, what is that? It's a term that actually means the average change in prices over time that consumers pay for a basket of goods and services. So for example, this basket of fruit and veggie here that's looking beautiful and delicious, 10 years ago, it cost this much. 5 years ago, it cost this much. A year ago, it cost this much. This year, today, it costs this much. And you might say, what's gone like that, Joanne? And it's become very difficult for everybody to be able to afford it. Consumer price index is the measure of the change of what it costs you to buy that basket of goods and services. So what's really happening to prices? I'm going to share with you something that might surprise you. Excuse me, I'm going to grab a quick drink of water while I'll let you absorb this. We are all talking about the price of fuel. I know we all are. A diesel car, and it's like $2.30 a litre. I get it, not pretty. But I went and did some research on the prices of petrol, and this was from a government website. I should have the reference here. Apologies, I think it's the Australian Bureau of Statistics. It's where I normally go. Did you know, in fact, that today's prices of fuel is comparable to the salaries people were earning in 1980? In fact, it's better. So the actual pump price is the orange column. The adjusted price to what it was. So if you think about in 1980, that golden, the greeny color, not green, but the goldy color that's there, that suggests it's nearer to comparatively what you could buy with your dollar in 1980. The cost of fuel is way higher than it is today compared to what our dollar will buy today. I just want to put this into perspective for you. We can actually buy more for our dollar today than we could over the previous years. It's actually improved. You'll still say, yeah, but it's still horrible, Jane. Of course it is. And that's the beautiful thing that COVID has brought us. We can now do things via a screen. I can't tell you the amount of fuel I have saved by not driving to Brisbane every day, by not driving around, meeting people physically. Yes, I still do love that. And where I can, I will. But I do find I tend to do that more locally. And now I do everything through a screen. And you know what? I can fit more appointments in. Yes, I need to be very aware that there's actually time between these meetings, so I'm not bang, 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 and I've got some time to refresh and get my brain back in my head. But I can get more appointments done than I've ever done before. I can reach a wider reach. My network is now international. So there's been some amazing wins as a result of COVID. And you know what? All the things that are going out around in the world currently, horrible, terrible things. Let's just put this in perspective. We can actually buy more fuel with our money than we could in 1980. So I just wanted to put out there, Australian Bureau of Statistics, this is data, didn't make it up. So just wanted to put this in perspective for you. So yes, we know the costs are going up. So what we want you to do is to always be looking ahead. Look for efficiencies. A key learning today: increase prices little and often. Remember, you can increase prices, you can decrease expenses, both will improve your net profit. So we just spoke about before debtor finance, where you can finance your invoices. You're going to have money in your bank account within 48 hours. You can go to your manufacturer, your suppliers, and say, I have the ability to pay on better terms now. Can we please negotiate a better rate per widget that I buy from you? That's decreasing your expenses. That goes straight down to the bottom, and it enables you. What can you do with that extra money? Can you do some more marketing drives, create new product, put a staff member on? What does it enable you to do? Increase prices little and often. Let me give you an example, because I know a lot of people going, whoa, I'm really worried about increasing prices. Let me put this scenario to you. When I do go to Brisbane, there's an app that I go into before I head to Brisbane, and it's my local coffee shop, and I order my coffee. The reason I do that before I leave home, because it's literally 2 minutes around the corner. The reason I do that is that I know that as soon as I drive up, that coffee is virtually sitting on the counter waiting for me. I can hop in my car, I can get going to Brisbane efficiently with my coffee. Do I even look at the price of my coffee? No. I am looking through for the value that that cafe brings me, because I can order it easily and efficiently. They call me by Joanne. They know the coffee I want. It's ready when I want it, and I'm prepared to pay for the value that that brings. If anybody was listening, today is the 30th of June. I did a live today on business owners who approach business by money-driven, value-driven every time. This is a prime example, this cafe coffee example. Do not be afraid to up your prices when you know that you are confident about your product. The value you bring is like no other out there, that you are confident that you will actually change somebody's life, even if it's coffee, because you know what? I don't have time to stand there and wait for a bunch of people to finally recognize me that I'm standing there waiting to pay for my coffee and then wait another 10 minutes to deliver it. I want it when I order it, and I know it's going to be efficient. I'm prepared to pay for that. Bear that in mind. Absolutely bear that in mind. So let's talk a little bit further to this. So first, to increase wins, the last one to do so will be out of business. And don't feel guilty, because this is about you, as I said, knowing the value you bring, know your worth and prove it. No one wins from your low prices. Guess what? Because if you have continual low prices, you're probably going to go out of business. But you know, the people who, the ripple effect that has, you won't win, supply won't win, competitors won't win, customers won't win, family won't win, circle of influence, staff, colleagues, network won't win if you go out of business because you refuse to put your prices up. I can't tell you, like even my hairdresser, I have this conversation with him every year. When are you going to put your prices up? Oh, nobody's going to notice. I said, okay, just a bit of a share. My hairdresser I have used since my daughter was about 8, so that's 17 years. I have followed him around the whole of Brisbane, and I drive an hour to go and see him. So I said to him, how many customers are like me that have stuck with you everywhere you've been? Well, 90% of them. Right. So would that not suggest that they're coming to you because of the value of the product you bring, not the price you pay, you charge? Oh yeah, good point. Good point, right? Good point. Value. He's getting there. I mean, it's 17 years, a lot of conversation. We're going to get there. He's still a great haircut, and I'm happy to keep going. But I want you to get this clear and loud as anything, that the value you bring justifies the price that you pay. The value should override any thought about the price you charge. Should override. It shouldn't even become a topic. Oh, well, just thanks, here's my card, I'll pay for it. Because when you know deeply and sincerely, the bottom of your head, heart, and gut, the value you bring is of high value, you are going to make a difference to someone's life in the product that you deliver or the service you offer, price does not become an issue. Spoken about this so many times. All righty. Let's talk a little bit more. How to maximize your profit in a highly inflationary environment. So I know there's a bunch of people out there who are busier, selling more, and I've had conversations with a number of business owners in this position, and I'll say to them, so has your profit increased? And the answer is, and they'll put the head down a little bit and the shoulders slump. Actually, I don't know. Oh, wow, really? So how many of you are reviewing the pricing of every product you have? Not just the profitability of your business, the profitability of your product. Too many business owners don't look at every individual product. If you've got 100, you've got 100 to review. There's tools that we make available through Navigate Biz that help you do this really simply. There's spreadsheets, yes, but just plug in the numbers and it will help you to identify what the profitability is of each product. Now take into account the profitability of each product when you're talking about a percentage might differ from one to the other. There might be a high price product that has a slightly lower margin, but a low price product with a high margin because you do lots of volume. That's okay. That's okay. If you want to get benchmarks, you can go to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. A lot of the banks have some fantastic commercial information, IBIS, Dun & Bradstreet, lots of places you can go to get benchmarking of what is the right profitability for a business. But let's just quickly check. Gross profit for a service business should be about 70%, should be minimum 70%. Product, it's going to differ because it depends on the manufacturer, what the end price is, etc. So that you'll need to go and do some benchmarking. So bear in mind when your inflation, when inflation is going up, so should to your price. Keep it at a minimum. Even if you keep it at the same percentages, put your pricing up, even if your net profit stays where it is, right? Be prepared to put your price up. Create gaps, like too many people leave it too late to put their price up. Be the first to do it. Find efficiencies so that you can take advantage of market share. Don't delay, because guaranteed there's going to be some supplier increases coming. So do it, put your prices up before the supplier ups their pricing. Be ahead of the game. just really mindful that this is a bit of a long one, so I just want to make sure that we get through this for you. Growth is when you need to know when to expand. And of course, growth is necessary to remain competitive. When do you need to expand? When do you need to grow? Well, all the time. And growth can be that you're going to outsource something. You're not necessarily employing people. So, what you need to be sure of is you need to be very clear that you know who your customer is. You've done the research. You can actually visually see that person walking down the street. Know that your product is profitable. So check the profitability of each one. Know there's demand for your product or service. Have a plan and develop large goals. Like I said, what does success look like when you get there? Do you know what that looks like? Because now is the time to expand. So there's, you can finance growth. Have you done your cash flow forecasting? Have you implemented the tools that we make available through Navigate Biz? Know your unique selling proposition. What makes you different? So can you raise the funds yourself? Do you have the property to provide a security? Are there family and friends you could speak to? There's tier ones, there's tier twos, there's investors, bring in a new business partner. A percentage of something is better than a percentage of nothing. Look wider than the traditional. And if you are going to go to family and friends, treat it like a formal proposition. For goodness sake, step one, have a plan, have a cash flow forecast, know what's going to make you different amongst all the other people out there that are building businesses, and present that to whoever you're going to be speaking to. Think about, if you were going to lend money to somebody, what would you want to know about them? They know their market, they know their product, they have a plan, they've got cash flow forecasts that they understand and can speak to, and they know where to find their customer. And they know what they're going to do with the money when they receive it from you as the investor. So flip it and think about it. What would you want to know about that business if you were going to finance it? And look at all the options. Many people say to me, well, if I'm going to go to a really, when there's tier 2 or tier 3 lenders, they're probably going to charge me 15 or 18%. So what? If that money is going to help you to build your business, bring in more sales, what is the cost to your business of not having those funds coming in? Don't think about the rate, think about the repayment per month. What are the terms? And can you leverage those funds coming in to cover the cost and create profit? That's how you look at those types of lending situations. So what did we cover today? We've gained clarity on the steps you need to take to recruiting, that you are not just offering a job, you are not just looking for an employee. The importance of sharing the bigger vision, how to deal with a supply chain. The first to increase wins, the last one to do so goes out of business. Such an important piece here. Manage and monitor your pricing and know what is profitable. Growth is necessary to remain competitive, and we've touched on how to finance your growth. So, there's been a whole bunch of people that have come through the Navigate Biz community. So, there's what we've seen and what we've noticed is people who've come through our programs, bootcamp, BizFlex, mentoring, all those sort of things. There's been a seismic shift in their mindset. They've expanded, they've put staff on, they've taken on new offices, new product, new pricing, new offering, and they're excited. And that's what we want for you. So if you've enjoyed this, I would love to take some time to have a conversation with you. I'm about to launch a new product called Mentoring Minute. It's not to say to you get a minute with me, you get 30 minutes with me. And I guarantee that at the end of 30 minutes, there'll be some aha moments. You will have something to take away to implement in your business. But if you go, this is interesting, Joanne, but I'm just not sure where to start, reach out, QR code works, book me a time, and let's have a conversation about what your pathway is to your journey in Navigate Biz. And Business Bootcamp starts next week. This is the big shout out and call out for you. I'm going to throw in some extra pieces that you can actually leverage and escalate your engagement in Biz Bootcamp. You're going to get your free mentoring session with me. You're going to get a free trial with BizFlex, our on-demand coaching platform. And we're going to send you 2 books, one from Nick Barnsdale and one from me. Plus you get all this other stuff, weekly mentoring with the group who are in Biz Bootcamp, whole bunch of tools, 8-week program, a library of tools you can implement, a workbook to implement and create an amazing plan for your business. So that's there. It launches next Friday. So it's up to you. Only you can make a change. If you know something has to change in your business, the only person who can do that is you. So you need to decide, is this for you? So if you've got any questions, please reach out to me. You know, the only silly question, big silly question is the one that you don't ask. So reach out, give me a call, book a time, and let's go through those questions that you might have. And thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, regarding show, please.
No.